Winding up over there, getting to the close of what's been a really trying week for the market. Thank you so much for joining in. As we start the final countdown, the cut is about 208 points on the Nifty, and for what it's worth, at least the index has managed a bit of a pullback. I've been saving grace that the close is going to be above the 25,000 level. Now, that's the Nifty. The Midcap index has actually fallen in step with the Nifty today. Again, a cut of about 0.9%. Bank Nifty is relatively better off. Let's talk about where the damage was most apparent on the index. On the large cap screen, M&M, Bajaj Finance, Nestle, BPCL, Ultratech Cement. These are some of the weakest performers, and you can see it's just cutting across sector lines. There are really no trends today, just top-down selling. A lot of consumer names actually have come under pressure. Asian Paints, Britannia, I mentioned Nestle earlier, Lever, Cipla, no hiding in consumer or in pharma for that matter. On the flip side, a little bit of buying on IT. Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, and TCS. These are the names that stood out. And the reason why we're managing a close above 25,000 is probably because names like SBI, TCS, they were putting up a bit of a fight. And of course, Infosys was the best performing stock, 1.5% on the upside. But, well, what do you say? For the week, we're talking about the Indian market losing, I think, just about 4% on the Nifty. Let's check the final levels. So, yeah, it is a 4.4% drop, and I think Hormaz was earlier telling us this will be obviously the worst week for the year, and probably over the last 1 or 2 years we've not seen a 4.5% kind of drop at the index level for quite some time.
Cuts across the board, right? I mean, as far as large caps, etc., are concerned. So I'll just tell you, in terms of the Nifty pack, Mahindra & Mahindra was a top loser with a 4.5% knock coming through. Bajaj Finance was down 3%. Nestle lost about 2.33%. Asian Paints was down 2.25%. BPCL was down 2.5%, and Hero MotoCorp was down about 2.25% or so as well. So that's the sort of top losers on the Nifty. Gainers, Infosys, 1%. Actually, there were only 3 names with gains in excess of 1%. There was Infy, there was ONGC, and there was HDFC Life. That's it. So it was, a tough one, all said and all told. Broader markets, lots of action, lots of movers, but suffice to say, 1,800 stocks lower and about 1,000 stocks which basically were higher by today's session. The number one loser, actually the list of losers, big volume-led losers is interesting. It's Adani Energy Solutions down 5%, Reliance Power down 5%, Reliance Infra down 8%. So these are the top 3 volume-led losers. And then of course, Mahindra & Mahindra Finance was down nearly 7%, that pre-quarterly business update. KRN Heat Exchangers, 6% cut, Amber down 5%, K Fintech, EPAC Durables, Edelweiss back to 120-ish from the nearly 150 it had to hit recently, and so on and so forth. So, a fair bit happening, and, tough one, absolutely. Let's see if we see more developments out of the Middle East, because I think that's what markets are waiting for, that big Israeli retaliation, which will happen, but we don't know when and what kind of damage and further escalation it may or may not cause. So we'll, of course, track all of that. Programming will continue here. It's a wrap on this edition of